The Artemis Ocean Racing Team, a pool of British offshore sailing talent backed by Artemis, one of the UK's leading investment companies, taking on the best in the sport across a range of short-handed disciplines, solo, double-handed and crewed events. Artemis began their support in June 2006, and for 2009 the sailing team has expanded, providing crucial backing at the highest level and for up-and-coming British sailors. Johnny Malbon, competing in the Figaro class this year. The Solo Solitaire du Figaro is his main event of 2009. 4 legs, each lasting 3 to 4 days, by France, Spain and Ireland. The racing is intense and sleep is not an option.
Who hasn't sailed in the Figaro class really? It's Poupon, Pallier, Camus, Mich Dejoux, Armel Leclerc, Gianelli's. The list is endless, and it's really why it's an honour to be taking part in this race. It's 4 races of 4 days with no sleep, competing against the best that are out there. It's one hell of a race, and I really can't wait to get stuck into it.
Johnny competed in the Vendée Globe, the legendary solo non-stop round-the-world race, in 2008 on board the 60-footed Mocha Artemis Ocean Racing 2. It was a tough initiation, the 26,000-mile non-stop race on one of the world's most powerful IMOCA monohulls. Only a third of the 30 entries made the finish. For Johnny and the Artemis team, the Vendée dream ended halfway into the race off New Zealand, his sails disintegrating in front of his eyes.
The Vendée was a very difficult one for me, and certainly lots of elements of it apply to this boat and this fleet and this kind of racing. Instead of 3 months at sea, it's 4 days, so I know that I can deal with a long period of time at sea. It's slightly different because you're just full power the whole time. It's a different level of intensity to something like the Vendée or Jacques Vabre or Route de Rhum type races. It's just intense, full on and unbelievable.
For Samantha Davis, who's now joined the Artemis team for 2009, the Vendée Globe race was another story. The top British finisher, Sam's 4th place in this classic race, made headline news. Sam will be racing Artemis Ocean Racing 2 in the premier IMOCA race of the season, the Transat Jacques Vabre.
The Transat Jacques Vabre is a double-handed race across the Atlantic, from Le Havre in France to Puerto Limón in Costa Rica, which is a new route. The race is about 4,000 nautical miles, and I reckon it will probably take us around 3 weeks to complete it.
A co-skipper in the Transat Jacques Vabre will be Frenchman Sidney Gavinier, an experienced round-the-world sailor in both short-handed and crewed events. Artemis Ocean Racing 2 has undergone a weight-saving refit for this predominantly downwind transatlantic race. The Artemis duo will be racing against the leading IMOCA campaigns. Nick Barb and Ollie Bond, the latest recruits into the Artemis team, are 2 of Britain's up-and-coming new talents on the short-handed sailing scene, with their roots in the Mini Transat class. Nick will be supporting Johnny in his Figaro campaign, and will race with Johnny in the 2-handed Round Brittany race this autumn. With his experience in the Mini class, Nick's valuable know-how will also help his Artemis teammate Ollie Bond. Ollie Bond will race in the 2009 Mini Transat this autumn on board Artemis. Racing across the Atlantic in a 21-foot boat is not for the faint-hearted, and the competition's fierce. The race was started by the British, but it's now dominated by the French. Ollie is Britain's best hope in the class. The Artemis Ocean Racing Team is an exceptional pool of talent across a spectrum of different boats and events. Expect to hear a lot more about these sailors in the years to come. But Artemis's support of British sailing doesn't end there. Artemis also backs 2 British sailing events in the Open 60 calendar. The Artemis Challenge is in its 3rd year, an annual 50-mile race around the Isle of Wight every summer that attracts many of the leading IMOCA campaigns. And in addition to the Artemis Trophy, this event attracts significant media coverage and offers a £10,000 prize fund to the winner's nominated charity. In 2008, Artemis put their name to the oldest solo race in history, originally known as the Ostar. Held every 4 years, this pioneering race across the North Atlantic was started in 1964 by 2 British sailing legends, Sir Francis Chichester and Blondie Hassler. In the early days, it took over 40 days to reach America. Now the modern-day IMOCA 60s sprint across in less than 13. Time has changed many things, but the solo spirit remains unchanged. One man, one boat, the ocean. Britain has a great seafaring history, and since solo racing began, British sailors have made their mark. Chichester, Sir Robin Knox-Johnston, Dame Ellen MacArthur. Artemis is backing both sailors and events to keep this British tradition thriving.